Tri-State Triumphs, sponsored by Good Samaritan Home of Quincy.
In general, I think I knew what I really wanted to do when I was in high school. Probably my sophomore year, I just said that I wanted to be an aerospace engineer and kind of set the bar pretty high and had in my head, try to shoot for the stars for NASA, which a lot of people probably thought that it was a pretty high bar to set, but I really just held that as a goal, not really as something that I was going to be disappointed in per se, but that's definitely what I shot for most of my life.
Finding something that you love in education and parlaying it to a career, I mean, you're a model of that for what that means. How critical and important was it in your life to kind of identify those educational strengths and figure out a way to make those dots connect?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned math. So high school, math was probably my least favorite subject. I was not the best at math, and I probably have some high school teachers that will attest to that. But it wasn't until I got actually into college and I started getting to apply some of that math to the really cool things that I do now that it really started to click for me. So I'll say that was also a big thing. Is it was probably one of my weaker subjects, honestly, and I didn't like that. And I changed that. So I very quickly, when I went into college, I made it a pretty good goal to make math one of my strongest subjects. And I ended up coming out of John Wood with a really good grasp on math, thanks to some of my instructors there that put me right where I needed to be going into a big university like Purdue for schooling.
We always take where we're from with us wherever we go in this world, and come from a working community, putting in the time, learning the lessons you learn from basketball. How much of that is applicable?
Growing up, I knew that I wasn't going to go to the NBA and play basketball, but that was some of my fonder times growing up, was playing basketball for Liberty. And a big thing that I learned pretty early on from our head coach at the time was Jeff Caspery. He was real big in preparation. That was a huge part of what we did, a huge part of our practice. He had scouting reports beyond anybody's belief. And looking back now, it was quite amazing as to how well prepared we were for stuff. And I really took that to heart and took that preparation that I was kind of instilled in me, especially in the high school ages, and put that into my schoolwork. A lot of what I did was very applicable. I practiced basketball all the time, it seemed like. And then when I graduated high school, started college, my new practice was my education, right? My homework and everything. So it was the same thing is true. You practice, and you have to practice to get through school. I mean, it's not you show up for a test and a lecture and you're done. It's a lot of work goes into it, a lot of perseverance. You get knocked down. So there's a lot of direct lessons that you learn early on and how to deal with early on while playing sports that is a direct correlation to how you can handle things in your real life, especially in education.